Welcome to the tutorial for the third mission, Molotov-Party. Here we want to skip all the cutscenes first, and as soon as we see the car, just exit the car immediately. Wait till it starts up a bit, the engine, then get back into the car in order to leave Paulie here. Because Paulie is always a hazard. You know, you can throw the Molotov cocktail, he runs straight into the flames. Or you exit the car and he gets run over by another car. So it's better to leave him here and you don't waste any time since the car is starting up anyways, or to be more precise, the engine. And you wouldn't be able to drive anywhere. Here we're gonna take this route. We're not gonna take the tunnel and the Giuliano bridge, but we're gonna go to this bridge, close to the works quarter, because we want to trigger the bolt thrower Easter egg. Obviously you have to pay attention to the cops. It's not too bad if you have a cop right there in the middle of the bridge, but here it's a bit unfortunate, because you would lose time if you get the gun here. So we're gonna go for the first track, which means blowing up the bolt ace. So you want to align at the tower you can see on the left, just smack into the guarding rail, then turn a little bit to the right, and then just reverse into that block you can see left of the door, or even straight where the gap is, so the door to the tower. Everything works, just throw a Molotov cocktail on it and try to grab a bolt ace. At best it's gonna be a bolt ace pickup. And haha, you see that? It's a bolt ace pickup. I had to retry the segment many times to get the bolt ace pickup, but it was worth it, you know? It is totally worth it. No, just kidding. Every bolt ace is exactly the same speed, the same acceleration, so there are no differences. So you want to take the right turn here, then turn left. And you want to just continue. Reversing camera is the right thing to do, because you might trigger cops, and as I've told you, the bolt ace is pretty slow, so you won't be able to outrun cops. With the bolt thrower it won't be a problem, but we are on our way to get the bolt thrower. You can shorten over the sidewalk, sometimes you will flip or crash, and then you have to walk the rest. And now we see the bridge and go left here. And there's our bolt thrower, just waiting for us. So brake, you might even crash a little bit into the car to stop faster, because this car obviously doesn't have a handbrake. Now go to the volant position to be the driver here. And now you just reverse with the bolt thrower. You can try to hit the post of the traffic lights in order to get a push, or you just reverse and then push up and you do that little drift. You can shorten over the sidewalk here to go back to the main road on Central Island. Cops are irrelevant here, you will always outrun them. And here just go straight and you will follow the Giuliano bridge and go to Newark, where Morello's bar is located. So here you see me use the cursor keys. You might wanna use the secondary keys here, because the bolt thrower is always difficult to turn, but if you have a long stretch, you don't have to turn that much, you can use the cursor keys as well. So here we take a left. Pretty much now following the compass. As you can see, right, then again a left. And here I'm trying to spin, what you shouldn't be doing, of course. And we're pretty much done. There we are. There we have Morello's bar. And you want to kill this guard right away. You don't want him to trigger all the gangsters from Morello's bar. Here you're just gonna drive forward, and then with the front of your car just drag away this bolt Model B to a position that you can just push into this gap between the two other cars. You step out of the car and you throw the Molotov cocktail into the biggest gap of two cars. You have seen the box there. You don't want to turn your car right onto the box, so it's alright if your car is pretty much backwards to the gate. You can just reverse onto the road and then you can just push forward. The cars are going to explode, and if you don't see anything of returning to Salieri when you're driving over the Giuliano bridge, then you know you failed the mission. But most likely you will see it right about here. You see the stop sign, or on the Giuliano bridge. So yeah, we're going back to Salieri. We now have the bolt thrower. Paulie obviously is still at Salieri's bar, so nothing has happened to him. He can actually die in mid-mission sometimes with the old strats. Very rarely, but it might happen. So yeah, don't spin around, use secondary keys. Here we can see the cops are basically gone, we lost them. We might even consider to actually use the front door of Salieri's bar and not go the back door entrance. Yes, we lost the cops completely. So as long as we don't trigger the cops here or an officer, we're fine to go. Let's see. Looks good to me. So just smash into the wall or into the lamppost there, get out of the car and trigger with the door. And there we go. That's it. That's Molotov-Party. As you can see, a very simple mission. You just have to keep in mind to get the bolt thrower. And that's it. I showed you the way, pretty much the London strats on how to trigger the bolt thrower with blowing up this bolt ace. Now I'll show you a less, let's say, violent way in order to get the bolt thrower. That means not violent against the bolt aces. So what we want to do actually is we want to get to the bridge and then trigger cops in order to get their guns. So we want to kill a cop, get his gun, kill the other one, and then shoot the window, the classic way. So yeah, this is all straightforward. We can see a cop car up front, which is in a bad position, but he's gonna turn right to the harbor. So we're fine with that. And now it's always great if we see a cop car. Okay. The waiting game has begun. Ah, there we go. The cop car is approaching from behind. You shouldn't be waiting. If you don't get it here right away, you shouldn't be going for this strat to wait for a cop car to appear and then actually stun them. It's not worth the time. So yeah, we take the baseball bat and just smash against the door. Align a little bit so we can pretty much stun him from behind. And then kill the other guy. Using the rapid fire glitch. And shoot the upper part of the window you can now see in the frozen frame. And that will also trigger the bolt thrower Easter egg, so you can go to the same position you have seen previously and get the bolt thrower and so on. Obviously you can now see the disadvantages of having Paulie, because he will stop your car since he has to re-enter the car, so leaving him at the bar is the right strat to go for. Obviously with the cops you also have the disadvantage that you now have the problem that you might be triggering more cops. But yeah, that's it for the mission Molotov-Party. There's nothing more to say here. It's pretty much the same strat that already was in the last tutorial. So yeah, we'll see each other in the next tutorials.